I wasn't happy anyway because we had something. Not only because we had something to play for, but obviously we did because we were still in the chance of Champions League. I just don't. This past week has just been a revelation to me as much as it has to Ange. Number one, there's no team that I dislike more than I like my own team. Number two, I will never cheer for City to win anything because they're cheats. Even though it's against my rivals, I can't. I can't do it. It goes against everything in my brain. It's just unethical, and I just find it embarrassing. To see the Tottenham fans celebrating City's goals, I can't cope with it. But apparently, that's because I'm not a real fan. Because apparently, if you wanted Spurs to win, you're actually not a real fan. So I'm one of them.
Terry, somebody asked me, he said, are you going to cheer for Tottenham to win? And I said, no, I don't like Tottenham. I'm not going to cheer for Tottenham to win. But I will pray for City's downfall. I will pray that, their goalkeeper makes a mistake and scores an own goal by himself. He misses the ball and drops it in the net. I would pray for that kind of stuff for City. Like City is the person that I did not want to, like, I don't care what Spurs do. If they're not able to score, that's their business. But I would pray for City's downfall. But I will not support Spurs, So
I get that. So
I also don't like the thing that people are trying to compare us wanting Spurs to win, to Spurs wanting themselves to lose. There is a difference in that. We can want Spurs to win that game and still hate Spurs because they don't do anything for Spurs. Might give them a chance to get in top four, but if Aston Villa win the last game of the season, they still don't get it. We wanted to win the league. Spurs are actually physically cheering for their own team losing a game, and there's the difference. Is like, for me, I'm not gonna lie. I know I'll say it I think it's one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen in football, in my lifetime. No. And let me say why. Let me say why. It's not the fact that Spurs didn't want to win the game. Spurs fans didn't want to win the game, because that's fair enough. The rivalry is huge. They don't want to see us win the league. I understand that. But it's the shamelessness and the public celebrations. Like, you do that and then you celebrate privately, and then online you go, oh, damn, we didn't win. Or you be a little bit, maybe to say two-faced about it, might be the wrong way, but you sort of have a bit of self-pride and pride of your team. Not that you're online and in the stadium celebrating that you've got former players in Man City shirts on Talk Sport doing,
but you've got Arsenal Fan TV and amongst other Arsenal channels kissing the Tottenham cockerel badge and cheering for Spurs.
I agree with this, right? So I look at it this way: not wanting Arsenal to win the league is fine. Celebrating losing when it also ended your hopes of Champions League football, I find crazy. Arsenal fans kissing the badge is also mad. Any that did that, it doesn't make. I don't even like holding in my hand other clubs' kits. It's something about it. No disrespect, makes me feel dirty. Equally, though, I know Spurs fans will throw out, oh, Arsenal fans wanted to lose the final in Baku if it meant we didn't win our final. I find that equally embarrassing. But I think social media is to blame for a lot of this, in the sense of
it is.
People. It's why you said something earlier, David, about how when people go in on Chelsea, some Chelsea fans will fight back, probably with too much vim. But then there's another percentage that go, do you know what? I'm going to take the easy way out and just side with the rivals, because it becomes a shield against banter. And I almost feel like people do that around, oh, I'm gonna cheer if we lose because it's a bit of a shield. Or they go, how do I minimize the banter? I know I'm gonna say something outrageous. It's kind of weird to me. I feel like social media has made people kind of behave this way, especially when people are told it makes you look like you're a better fan than you are. It is crazy.
I think there's too much hate in the world. Man.
This here from Jason says, a proper panel, lovingly informed and sensible discussion. I know we say this a lot, but next season could be a banger. Will City be favourites? City are definitely favourites as of right now. But listen, if Chelsea improve again, Man United rebuild, if it takes a bit of a, if it does this, you've got Slot coming in, Anthony's second year. It could be an absolutely amazing season next year. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And thank you for the super chat. So has Grealish been £100 million player? I'm not sure.
Arguably, yeah, because he still contributed to a treble.
You see, the thing is, again, because right, even though Grealish towards the end of the season was quite important, performance-wise, I don't think he has been £100 million player. However, he did help. He did help them win a treble. So I'm kind of sat here in this weird spot where I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. It does become a difficult one when it does become a difficult one, as you say, when when they've won major trophies. It becomes a really hard thing to play down. This year says people are so reactionary these days. Chelsea aren't playing so well and underperformed. They spent so much and still 6 because of Spurs, Newcastle United playing badly. But do you know what I will say, KD? There is an element of that, and Giuseppe's called it out. But Chelsea's performances are still Chelsea's performances. And this is why when people say, well, that goal took you from 7th to 7th, you shouldn't celebrate it. That's also a take that sometimes I understand it holds water. But other times, if just say Man United and Newcastle and Spurs carried on winning all our games when Chelsea had been winning recently, other than when they played each other, would that mean Chelsea's improvement doesn't exist? The answer is no. Chelsea would still have got better, but their league position may not have grown. In an idealistic world, though, Katie, this is what I mean by league positions. League positions are important. But if next season everybody's as good as City, do you know somebody's still going to finish 7th? Someone's still going to be 8th. Someone's still going to be 9th. Even if everybody spends like City, acts like City, behaves like City, 19 teams are going to lose the league title. It's so at the same time, that's why you can't just do results-based analysis and positional analysis by itself. You have to look at performances as well, because performances is where consistency stems from, and Chelsea's performances have been very good recently.
I
just want to go through these super chats and move on to the next subject. Sorry. Big Ange to United wants a winning attitude. Listen, I wouldn't say no to Big Ange, to be fair. That's already done this one here. A lot of them did it under Arsenal fan skins. Difference is Arsenal did it to win. Tottenham didn't went against it. No, I hear you, Harold. I definitely think there's a difference there. Love the new title graphics, Terry. Big up the panel. Yeah, we have changed the thumbnails today for the first time in 3 years. I'd like to get some feedback on the new thumbnail. If you could, people, that would be absolutely great. There will be 20 points difference at the end of next season between 2nd and 3rd. I honestly can't see any club coming anywhere near City or Arsenal.
That's ridiculous. So you're basically saying it's 80, it'll be 88, 87, and it'll be 68 from there.
I agree.
I cannot see that happening. I cannot see that happening.
I don't.
I can't.
From where, again, speak about my club personally, from where we've been this year, I can easily see us getting 12 more points. And at that point, you're asking the teams above us to get 95, 96, which is not impossible, but I ain't going to bet on it. So
yeah, I can still see us getting 75 points minimum next season.
Yeah, I think he's saying it just based off the fact that, of course, Liverpool has a new manager come in, and even though the club is well run, there's going to be that dip, regardless of how it is. There's going to be some level of dip. So I think that's why he's saying that, like 20 points difference between 2nd and 3rd. But Chelsea making top 4 next season looks very plausible right now with the way they're playing, and the fact that the injured players are coming back. If they have a full squad and Poch does what he did in the preseason that I saw him do at preseason this year, yeah, top 4 is not far away from them. But yeah, that 20 points is a lot. You can say maybe 12 to 16.
You think it could happen, Kate? Why is that?
Because I think City and Arsenal are just different gravy to everybody else. I really do. I think there's going to be a drop-off from Liverpool. We don't know which of their players are going to go yet, but let's say Salah and Van Dijk go. Possibly Trent could go. You're going to have a big drop-off there. I know Liverpool fans don't want to hear it, but that's how I see it. Chelsea, yeah, they're going to improve, but I don't think they're going to improve to the levels to get to Arsenal. Spurs might think they're going to get up there, but they're not, in my opinion. This is all obviously my opinion. I'll probably get slated for it. And Man United, again, they may improve. I expect them to improve, although I do expect them to have Ten Hag in charge. I just watch City and Arsenal and think they're levels above everybody else in the league, and they're only going to get better.
I don't disagree with that in the sense of that they're I think they're better than everybody else, those two. And we're going to get onto why Arsenal might improve in a minute with a story that's come out today. What I will throw in, though, is that this last season when Arsenal became title contenders, no one saw it coming. And I don't know who it's going to be, but I have just a football gut feeling There could be, and again, it could be Slot who goes into Liverpool and they just come alive. It could be next season Chelsea.
Poch.
If you look at what Poch and Chelsea have done in the last 3 or 4 months, if they could put that over the course of a season, they could really close that gap. I think someone next year no one's going to knock Arsenal and City out of the top 2 next season, in my opinion. But I think someone could close that gap on them in terms of closing it. So yeah, I don't agree that there'll be that big gap between third, but I still think them two are going to be the best 2 teams in England next season.